Another great read for me. Another great read. I mean, a spectacular book that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed. Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Reviews with SDA. Thank you for clicking on this video. Subscribers, thank you for coming back and watching my videos on book reviews. And if you're a new viewer here, thank you for clicking on this video. Please subscribe, like, comment, and click the notification bell so you can know when I drop new videos of my book reviews. So yeah, today I am going to be talking about a spectacular book, a book that I love so much. So it is Ruin, the third book of the Faithful and the Fallen series. A wonderful book, a wonderful series. Anyways, let's just get into it. This series is written by John Gwynne. Somebody should clap for that man. He's a genius. Somebody, please, can I hear you clapping? Huh? I know you guys are clapping, don't worry, because that man is a genius and this series is wonderful. If you love epic fantasy, please pick up The Faithful and the Fallen. So let's just go into the background of this book. I have done the reviews for the first and second book, which are Malice and Valor. So I'm going to be putting a link to the videos up on this video so that you guys can watch it. If you think you want to get a feel of the whole series, I think you should watch my first review, Malice and Valor. It's up there before you continue the one for Ruin. So I'm just going to give you like a brief explanation of what this book is about. So this book is about a war in a place called the Banished Lands. This place is habited by giants and mankind and a few fantastical creatures. So this Banished Lands is occupied by these different kind of people from different places, from different parts of the world, of the Banished Lands. But there's a prophecy that says that a champion will rise, a champion for the god of this world, who is Elion, would rise and fight against the devil of this world, Azeroth, and his champion. Azeroth as his champion, Black Sun, and Elion as his champion, the Bright Star. So everything starts with the fact that it's a creation story. God, Elion, created firstborns, the angels, they're called Benelims. After he created them, he created giants and created mankind. But one of the Benelims, Azeroth, got angry with God. So he took some of his people, some other angels, and they became the fallen angels. They are Kadoshim. Right now, Azeroth is locked in a prison in the other world. In this prison, he still has a bit of influence, and he is preparing for a war that would wipe out the people of the Banished Lands, the giants and mankind that Elion created. So yes, that's the story. And so for this third book, the first book to me was an introduction to the world, that's Malice, and Valor to me was a story of the setting in motion of the prophecy for the day, the war, the final battle of Azeroth coming to the world of flesh and becoming flesh and destroying the world. That final battle, Valor was like something that set it in motion. Wars were happening in different parts of the Banished Lands. Different things were happening. The child of prophecy found out there is a child of prophecy, and all that. People were gathering. Different things were happening to set this prophecy into motion. If the first book is introduction and the second book is Setting Emotion of the Prophecy. This third book is what I call the decision making book. It is the point of no return book. It is the threshold book. Like, every character that is important in this book, it is the time for them to make decisions, to start doing things, to grow. That is what this book is about. It's about the growth of many of the characters, and for things to be happening around them, for them to start making things happen. So yes, let's talk about the things I really, really love about the third book, and why I think you should read them. So for me, the third book, the best part for me about the third book is character growth. I felt so much of the character growth. I felt many of the characters growing. And the thing about this thing is that this book has so many POVs. I said before in my previous review that the first book had like 5 POVs and second had like 8. And this third book, it increased. I think it increased like by 2 more, or I can't remember the particular amount of POVs, but there were many POVs, and for all of them there was a bit of growth in this book. There was growth. You could see them growing. You could see them becoming important people in their regions. You could see them making decisions. Like I said before, this third book is a threshold book for every character in this book. Every character that actually mattered in this book. There was that point where they knew that, okay, I need to start doing and I need to start moving. I just need to do something. I'm tired of this and that and this and this. So there was a point for all of them to make their decision. The growth was amazing. The main character, the child of prophecy, Koban, you could see him growing. You could see, I'm a fan of Koban. I love Koban. So I already knew he was going to grow. I already expected it. I wasn't surprised about his own growth. But one thing I enjoyed most was the growth of the other characters. Some people that I did not even expect to grow the way they grew. An example is Marquin. Marquin grew so much. And he suffered so much. But you could see the growth from that suffering. You could see the way he was making decisions. Like, Marquin is one of those people that you keep eating and eating and eating and eating and eating to the point that they might not return, but it kept coming back up, and I loved it so much. It made me just love him so much. And the funny thing is that Marquin was not even an important POV in the first and second book. It just became important in the third book, and I loved it so much. I could feel everything about him, and Marquin grew so much. And also different characters. Even Edana became a warrior queen. She stopped being the spoiled, whiny princess. She wasn't whiny before. You would know from the first book that Edana could become someone great, but she also had that feel of someone that has gotten everything she wanted. So she did not. You wouldn't expect her to grow the way she did. Nobody expected much from her. But after everything she went through, her father's death and everything, she grew. Like, she really, really grew, and she became this leader of men that, it was a sight to see. Even though I could not see it, I could imagine it in my head. It was amazing to see how much Edana grew. Many of the characters, someone like Siwen, you already knew that she's badass. She did not need much growth. She was already her own person from the first book. So you don't expect anything except her to just continue to be who she is. Another thing about this book, oh god, the first book and second book owed nothing on Ruin, because Ruin had everything. It was sad, it was heartbreaking. There were moments of joy, like so much joy that you could feel in your bones as you're reading it. But there were also moments of so much heartbreaking sadness, like heartbreaking sadness that will make you want to just ball up in your bed and cry. I had this moment. I cried so much. I cried so much for so many people. So this book had so much sadness and so much joy and so much. It was just too much. This one moment you're getting a feel of pride and joy in your heart as you're reading about your characters, and another moment you're crying about how they have been broken, about the sadness they feel. So this book brought out so many emotions in me. So one thing again I really liked about this book was the cliffhanger aspect of it. I mentioned it in the first and second review that every chapter ends with a cliffhanger, like a page turner for the next chapter. Every chapter represents a POV, which means that you need to get to the chapter for the POV you just ended a cliffhanger on before you get the satisfaction. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like every chapter represents a POV, and every chapter ends with a cliffhanger, which means that you need like 3 more chapters or 4 more chapters to get to the continuation of the cliffhanger you just ended. And it goes on like that for this book, for the entire series, from Malice to Valor to Ruin. Every chapter ends like that, and it is just wonderful. It's almost like watching a marvelous series that you really like, and you can't wait to get to the next episode, to the next episode, to the next episode. It's like wonderful. I enjoyed that aspect. So something that I really liked, okay, this is kind of a spoiler for book 3, so if you don't want the spoiler, I think you should just fast forward from the time that is below. One of the things I really liked about this book was the fact that the prophecy was not really a prophecy, if you get what I mean. So at the end of book 3, Koban finds out that this prophecy was not actually something that was given to them by a divine god or something like that. It's just a strategy that was put together by the Benelims so that they can draw out Azeroth to fight them, and they can finally win the war that has been waging for thousands of years. So it was a strategy. Koban is really not a bright star, and there's no black sun, and there's no prophecy. It's just something that they were whispering to people that actually, like angels were whispering it to people that wrote the prophecy. Now, the thing I really liked about that fact was that this tells you that you don't need, because at the end of the day, Koban became a leader of men. He became someone really powerful. So it really shows that you don't need to be someone special, or you don't need to be touched by God to do something miraculous, to become a leader of men, to become a leader in your own right. You don't need to be special to become who you are meant to be. So I like what this story tried to tell, how John Gwynne put it. There was no prophecy that made Koban who he is. He's nothing special, but he became someone that people were willing to follow. At the end of the day, people that he became someone that people looked up to, even without being special. And one thing that I want everybody to remember is that even in the previous book, Koban kept on asking why he was chosen as the bright star, and no one could tell him. He said he wasn't special, he's not from a royal family, he wasn't a leader, nothing like that. So why did he choose me? But he proved that time and time again, without being a special human being, he wasn't touched by God. He's not that. It's just Koban being Tanon, which is just amazing. I love that. It just teaches you that you don't need to be this prodigy, you don't need to be this genius, you don't need to be this talented person to become great. So I love that so much, because time and time again, you get these books like this that say, oh, this person is special, that is why they are who they are, that is why they're a leader. But what drives Coban, what makes him this leader of men, is what is in his heart. It is what he loves. He's fighting for those people he loves. He's caring about the people that follow him. So that is just amazing. It was one of the highlights of the book for me. I enjoyed that part so much. It was the best part for the book for me. Just realizing that Coban is not this man of child of prophecy, but he was still a leader of men because of who he is, not because of some written prophecy. So like I said before, this book was the threshold. It was the moment that Coban decided that, in the beginning, decided that, okay, I am not running from this prophecy again, I'm just going to charge on. And by the end, he was told that it was not his prophecy. But knowing Coban, I feel like he will still make the decision to fight for his people, even though he finds out that he's not a child of prophecy, as opposed to someone like Nathan, who actually found out that he's not the bright star, but was so angry because he has lived the life of being a bright star for so long, and he refused to stop being a bright star. Do you get? So yeah, I just love this book so much. This series is amazing, and I love John Gwynne for writing this masterpiece. One piece. So one thing again is that I realized that in every for the book cover for the entire series, for Miley's, Valor, and Ruin, I think everything had these words that says, even the brave will die. And those words, I feel like it really resonated with this third book, because people died, and it was almost like the people I did not expect died, and the deaths broke me. They broke me so much. But I just think it follows those words, even the brave will die. And like I said in my last review of Valor, that the strategies were spot on. Ruin blew it out of the park, and the strategies were spot on. It wasn't just we fought and we won. It was, we saw the process of the fight. We saw why they won. We saw why the side lost. We saw what led to their losing. We saw what led to their winning. It was this strategy that made them win. I love how everything was put together. And it was the same with Valor, and it's the same with Ruin. And Ruin was even much better. There were some points that there was no need for strategies, because those points were their fights that people did not plan for. They just ran smack into the fight. But at the same time, it was just they were glorious battles. if there's something like glorious battles, that I had that in Ruin. And I just love this book. It's amazing. You should read it. You should read this series, not just Ruin. Read the entire series. You're going to love it. I've not read the book before, and I'm going to be starting very soon, and I know that I'm going to enjoy it. So I'm going to be doing the review of the last book in the series. My review has come to an end, and I hope I have given you a reason to read Ruin. I don't have anything I really dislike about Ruin. Ruin is a good book. I enjoyed everything. I enjoyed the point of views, the POVs, the character growth. The best thing about this book is the character growth, and second is the prophecy part. I'm not saying anything again because I already told some people to forward to this point. So the character growth and the prophecy, those are the highlights of this book, and you should read it if you love to see character growth and characters that have depth, characters that do things for a reason. the entire series, nothing happens for no reason. Everything happens for a reason, and every character does things for a reason. You are not just the evil villain because you are the evil villain. You are not just the hero just because you are the hero, because someone says you are the hero. You are the hero because you want to protect your people. You are the villain because you are tired of how people have been treating you. You want to rise to power. As in, every character has a purpose, and I loved it so much. So Ruin, out of the 3 books, I think Ruin is my best because there was just so much happening. Joy, sadness, joy, sadness, joy, sadness, character growth. It's so much was happening, and I enjoyed it so much. So thank you for watching my review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please click on the notification bell so that you can get notification when I drop a new video, and I'll be dropping right soon. So please just click on it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I am so thankful to you. Bye.